Hello, this is Lisa Russick with the podcast We're All Psychic, and look who is back. It's Julia with the pretty eyes. Give us your eyes, Julia. It's a video podcast on Spotify. Julia, do you still think we're all psychic?
Absolutely. We looked at that last time. We even looked it up. The word psychic meaning of the soul. And everybody's got a soul. We're breathing. You got a soul. Even if you're not breathing, you are the soul.
It's true.
So,
yeah.
Yes.
Maybe souls breathe. Maybe they breathe like what plasma, or what do they call it? Ectoplasma. Ectoplasma. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. That you can use ectoplasma for healing. Yeah.
Yeah. I've never seen anyone actually do that. Listeners and watchers, if you don't know what that is, but some mediums can like produce this like ectoplasm. Is that what it's called? Ectoplasm. Yeah. And it's like I don't know, it like forms the spirit's shape and stuff and talks like him or something. It does all kinds of stuff. I don't know a lot about it, but it's pretty fascinating.
We're jumping in the deep end today, aren't we?
Yeah, we're doing an energy check podcast. And listeners, we're talking about how, as readers and as people interested in metaphysics and working deeply with it, or just starting, we need our energy checks. And that's what Julia said. She says that's what they're called for her. So explain what that is for you.
Yeah. I'm part of this bigger group of clairvoyants, healers. And we work with our teacher who recently just passed away a week or two ago.
Bless her.
Him, yes.
Him. Maybe he's a she now.
I tell you, he's been more present in spirit. He probably would have said, I'll be right there in spirit. And we were like, yeah, but I want your body here too. Yeah. He's been so just right there. Every time I'm like, I sit down and he's like, got that little smile and cocked head. And he's just looking like, the cat that got the mouse or something. Just like, okay.
I got it all now.
But anyway, we have a group of healers, seers, clairvoyants, and people that just do regular jobs, but they use these skills out there. And I think it's really important that we're out there doing different stuff. Yes. And we do energy checks pretty regular. Since I'm a professional reader and healer and I teach, I'd probably like to get an energy check from somebody about, I don't know, every couple months or something.
Okay. So what entails an energy check for you personally?
Well, for us, it would be looking at the way the energy moves in the body, where it's flowing, where it's not flowing, and reading, like starting with the grounding cord. What's happening with the grounding cord? Are you grounded? Is it flowing? Is there energy releasing? If it's not, are there other people plugged into it? Who's plugged in there? If it's a baby, fine. If it's an adult, not so fine. Taking a look at where your energy is running. We do a practice called running energy using earth and cosmic energy. And so we can look through all the channels, the earth channels, the cosmic channels, running through the chakras, go through each chakra and just it's kind of mechanical, level by level. Okay, this is moving. Then there's a block between here and there. It's this color. It has this quality. It looks like this. And then by reading it and just kind of psychically tapping just ever so gently, it starts to release. You don't have to get in there with a crowbar or anything. So it's feeling very freeing, because especially if you're working with a lot of people like you do, it's really important because you get, I don't know if you've noticed this, but like after I teach, a couple days afterwards, there's a formula I've noticed. And a couple days later, their growth period starts. Tsunami wave coming back. Yeah. So for any other healers, well, this is different than just teaching like economics or other kinds of classes out there. This is psychic of the soul. So they go into a growth period and then that energy comes back. Why am I in a growth period? Oh, it's your fault.
You moved that energy and you taught me stuff. Yeah. And some people get really overwhelmed when they get that information, the energy coming in and the vibrations are, it's a little overwhelming if you've never felt it, or even if you have felt it and it comes on,
And I've seen people turn it off because of that. They're like, I don't want this. This is unpleasant. Let me just go back to a muggle life. I'll be fine.
Definitely. And when was the last time you had an energy check?
Oh, probably maybe a month ago or something.
Cool. So do you have like a certain like person you go to or people you go to each time, or different people each time?
Well, that's a good thing too to look at, because I'm sure you noticed with your colleagues too, people have different specialties.
Yes.
In reading. And so for anybody looking for a reading out there, people have different specialties. Maybe one person's really good at working with, okay, you're going to be an expectant mother. Let's look at the baby coming in, or the family relationship pod, or whatever. Just like a therapist.
Some people, like Jennifer Love's podcast, she's like specializes in like relationships. A lot of people go career even.
Somebody might be really tuned in on trauma and helping people through trauma.
Yes. That's a hard job.
Yeah, it is. Somebody might be tuned in on past lives. Let me read your past lives and how that plays into your life today. We
did have another past life reader, Melanie, been on the podcast a few times, and she talks about that. Yeah.
So I like to find somebody with a match. I just kind of energetically tune in. Who's got a match for where I am right now? Oh, that's who I need to call.
Smart. That's really smart. So, how would you feel about giving me an energy check on this podcast? Listeners and watchers, Joni Yaya, the yoga Joni, who comes on the podcast. She's been on there twice, I think. She most recently did a podcast about she did a meditation, I think, in the podcast, and it was great. And I still listen to it. And she and I was just telling Julia that she and I exchanged readings right before this podcast, and we both needed it, and it was great. It was kind of like an energy check. But would you like to demonstrate what an energy check is like on me? Maybe.
Sure. And if I
it just kind of popped into my head. I don't know.
Yeah. Absolutely. If I go too long, just go, time out. We need to talk about.
Oh no, we can do it. Oh, it's on. Attention's on me. I'm just kidding.
Okay. Well, when I tune in, there's some white energy swirling around you. It's kind of an unusual way to move energy. Maybe that's a way you like to move it. But now that's more of a that's on top of your energy. Your energy is behind that. You've got a lot more green. So the green shows me, and I'm just surrounded by green here. It shows this green
and it's
background.
so pretty. My eyes, like they're making green halo. You know how your eyes reflect, like they see a color and then they start making the opposite color. It's not happening. You're still just got a ton of green all around you.
When you're a person, your energy, it kind of comes to a point, and I'm saying this in a way like it leads to you're an innovator. You lead to new things, and it's like bring things together to a point. Let's take some ideas and collate them, and then boom, bring them into a point there. So I see that with your energy, and the green is like new. You're not somebody, you probably don't want antiques around. You want probably new. I
like it all, but there's something very interesting about what you're saying, and I'll let you finish and I'll explain.
Go ahead.
No, I want to hear more about. Is that all the energy check you've got?
Oh, no.
I'm keep going, and I'll let you know everything afterwards. I want to hear all to say.
All right. If I look at your grounding cord, I see you have a pretty wide grounding cord in a way that you like to accommodate for other people. So the way you run your energy is like, I'm creating space, a platform, a foundation, and it shows up. It's like a yellow oval shape under you. This is our platform for all of us. And you have about 30 people around you there. And so all of their energy is supported through your personal space, though. So that's not optimal.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Well, when you create a platform, you might want to have it outside your personal space. Okay. So it's awesome to have that platform to support. It's like you're good at creating space to help people up. Like, here's the platform for you to grow, to nurture, to expand, to do your best, do your thing. But you've got it in your personal space. And I would just say, put it over to the side.
I do involve my work life completely with who I am. I do. Yeah.
The way it's running in your body, it's like people have to go through you to get there. So, I mean, you can be involved in it, but if it's in your space, then you're also picking up. See, I see 30 people around you, and I'm picking up all their energy in your space. So all their growth periods are vibrating in your space. And
that could make me unstable feeling and not knowing.
Yes, it can.
Yeah, that you're explaining it that way is very cool. Yeah, I get that. Yeah,
so coming up from it's like if you're standing on this oval shaped yellow platform, and the yellow is like kind of for your thought, maybe it's like a God space, like this yellow gold, and I'm creating this God space for people to be in that. It's awesome. Just set it over to the side.
Can you see if I can do it? Can you watch me and see if I'm doing it? Let me try and see if I can kind of. I can feel it. I can feel what you're talking about.
Yes. And when your feet are standing on there, imagine that's a plate and everybody's got a vibration on there. And here's a redhead lady over here, and she's going through something with a daughter. And then here's a blonde over here. And then here's a guy that's going through. So you got all these people and they're vibrating at their life circumstances. And your feet, it kind of goes the way you have it set it up here. It looks like you would sense it up through your feet, and it gets into your nervous system, up your spine.
Yes. I have, and I do have a condition called hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome that has me always. They say it's always keeps people in fight or flight all the time. So that could be another energetic reason for that.
Yeah. I can't make any medical claims or anything. I'm just looking at the way energy moves.
I'm just saying,
where I see it lighting up is up the spine. Some nerves. I'm hearing the word perineal nerve. Is that a thing? I don't know. But it looks like some nerves, and then in some clusters up behind your down from your shoulder blades.
Yeah, I have scoliosis there too. So I do have a lot of knots. Yeah.
It's like cluster. It looks like a cluster of nerves or something that's overloaded. So they're red and inflamed from an overstimulation, overload of data input information. And you could say that data input is 30 people's growth period.
Okay.
That you as a sensitive psychic, you're very sensitive. You've always been really sensitive your whole life. And just lately having permission to have some of it, you've got a lot more up top that's going to be coming in. You're doing the bottom end first, which is cool.
Everybody likes the bottom end first.
It makes it real. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not always so good at that. So
I'm not either. I'm surprised you say that, but I do try to stay, I do try to focus on, somebody came on the podcast and explained grounding in a way I'd never heard of before. They were like, your feet are planted in the earth, but your head is up in the stars, but you're expanding all through from the grounding all the way up. And ever since then, I've been trying to kind of visualize that for grounding, and that helps me a lot.
There's a lot of groundings out there. Like if you go to Qigong, Tai Chi or something, they'll run energy in a particular way for that modality. So it depends on what you'd want to do. I mean, we use grounding in a way, I would think of it as like 2 points maybe that makes sense to people. One would be like a big trash chute under you, and we get other people's energy, just flush it down.
I love that.
With the sound effect. Yeah. But you're getting rid of old energy in your space or other people's energy, even people you love. If their problem energy is sitting here all day and you're like, why do I have a headache?
Yeah, I don't get headaches, but I get weird pains and weird sensations and stuff. That would explain that, because there's no medical cause.
This platform, under the way I'm looking at this, like a platform is you creating space for others, which is beautiful. Keep doing that.
Maybe
just over there.
Maybe I'll put a cat on that yellow pedestal.
No, put the 30 people over there.
And with a cat, though. I mean, a spirit cat to keep them all calm, and a dog. Okay. Spirit dog and a spirit cat. Unicorn, too. We'll put a unicorn over there. Give them something to look at. And aim for. Manifesting a real unicorn. That's really fascinating, Julia, that you did that. So I'm going to, this is the feedback I'll give you. Yes. With the white, I've been told I have white aura. I don't know if it's an aura that you're reading or energy. And it says that what I've learned is that it means your crown chakra is open and you feel connected to the everybody, everything. And I do feel that way. Now the green, you said growth, and it's coming in kind of like, what's interesting is, listeners and watchers, today I submitted the Psychic School app to the Google Play Store and the Apple Store. So we're waiting to hear back. That's the new growth. And I've been really putting a lot into that.
Oh, that put you in a massive growth period.
Just did it today. And I've been working on it since maybe June. And I have been sick on and off. So it was like bit by bit. And I'm going to be testing it for a week or two before I start doing classes on it. We start doing classes. I have some teachers.
Can I pause you for a minute?
Yeah.
You just occurred to me because you're saying you were sick and you're still working on something. I see this a lot in really groundbreaking people like you. You're bringing new ideas, new thoughts and stuff in that there's like often, not always, there's no always, but I've seen this lately, especially because a lot of us have been feeling like, oh, my secret decoder ring just went off and my mission is now and it's all systems go. I don't get to sit in the back seat anymore. And so we're like gung ho, but then there's this like massive growth right before you get out there. And it, for some people, don't let that discourage you, because you might have medical challenges, health challenges, or financial or whatever. But if you're burning from the inside, like I need to teach, I need to, like for me, it's like I need to teach and read and healings and stuff. And this is what I incarnated for right now. And I think there's a lot of people that are coming online right now. Don't get discouraged. Anybody listening, if you find yourself in a health crisis or something, move through it, get help or whatever. Just hoop jumping, jump through those hoops and then do your thing. Don't get sidetracked by that.
Exactly. And, with my health issues, I did for some, I would make it like the reason I couldn't instead of right now I can't, or right now I'm not going to because of this. I have some of my health issues, particularly the pain I was in. I'm not going to talk about it too much on the podcast. I'll tell you about it sometime, Julie, if you're curious. But I had an energetic, kind of like an energetic vampire in my energy, and I figured it out, and I got them out, and all the pain went away. But I've been having so much pain for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. And it's almost gone, but I didn't know that was going on. And is that crazy? Did I make that up? As soon as I figured it out and cast that energy out, the pain was gone.
There's a lot of games out there, and I would throw out a caution for anybody wanting to start right out in mediumship. Really pause on that for a minute and really work your own space first, because there's a lot of games.
So this is a person who is astral projecting into my energy, into my area and watching and stuff. And I figured
you found it. And
I saw this person, floating over there. And I was like, it just kind of happens that way. I just happened to notice, and I picked it up that time, and I hadn't been, and I don't know how long this person's been there, but it sucked. But, I'm glad they're gone now. I mean, they still pop around, but I shut them back out. And I asked the angels for help, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Michael, and my guides, Sam and Morgana, and my ancestors. I ask them all to help keep them out, and that really helps. That was a really great energy check, and I'm going to start focusing more on trying to put that platform, that safe space that I'm trying to create for people to feel empowered and comfortable in their skin, and put it over there with a cat and a unicorn and a dog.
Yeah, I mean, it's
we'll work on that.
And give it its own grounding cord and like a bubble around it, like a sanctuary. Create a nice sanctuary.
Oh, I love that. That's so awesome. Do you want me to try to give you an energy check? I've never.
Sure.
Okay. Let me see. This is the first thing that pops into my head is that with that green behind you, it makes your hair look like it has some purple in it. And I don't know why, but that makes me feel like you're having some new insights and ideas about what to do with telepathy in particular. I don't know if that's something you're working on or not. I feel like your vision is very good, your actual vision, eyeballs. And that when your vision, I get this feeling like sometimes your vision isn't, and it is. And it kind of correlates to your psychic vision. Is that something that happens to you? It all seems really clear right now. Your head feels clear. Your energy feels clear. Now with you, I feel something in the spine too, as though you collect something in your spine. And it feels like it's purple and green, purple and green. And they're kind of like it's almost like Mardi Gras in there. There's it feels like, I'm trying to put words to it. Feels like you're pulling energy up into your spine, but it's not all the way releasing or something. You like it in there. It all feels good. But sometimes it needs to be released because it's gotten used up or used old or something. It doesn't feel like it hurts you or anything, but it makes you sit up nicely or something. It makes you have posture. It's it helps you. But it's the message I'm getting is to kind of release some of it and refill it up sometimes, And I feel like your feet, I see a lot of green roots and brown roots and white roots coming down into the ground and all way down. And I feel like in your solar plexus, the sacral area. I feel a lot of joy. It feels like a lot of joy in there, and it feels like it's not been there. Like it's needing, like, more needs to be there. It seems like it's been a while since there's been a lot of joy in this area, and I think you've been giving it to other people, maybe, and now you're keeping some for yourself, is what it feels like. So is that a good energy check?
Very good. Very good.
Yeah, felt really good. I mean, you seem like you're doing great. So
Yeah. I am. I'm excited for this time we're in. Like I said, I feel like this is when I've been waiting for my whole life, was this time period. Telepathy is interesting. You mentioned that. I'm starting to write a book. Did I tell you about that?
No.
I'll give you the working title. Let's see. Working title. So it'll probably be 2024, well into next year when this comes out. Sensitivity is a strength, your path to spiritual awakening. And the message of the book will be around having sensitivities to others is not a liability or a sentence to a lonely life spent in avoidance or holding back. It's a new door opening to your purpose and a guiding light to a powerful, thriving life.
That's going to be a great book. It's already being a great book, isn't it? I'm going to read it when it comes out. And when it comes out, you have to come back and let us know about it.
But the telepathy thing is, I didn't realize I was trying to I didn't realize I had such strong, like, broadband telepathy as a kid. And I tried to shut it out, drinking beer and play my drums really loud.
We talked. Yeah.
And it wasn't until much later that I realized that I was picking up on a telepathy level what everybody else was thinking. Because where I grew up, people didn't always say the truth. They would kind of side things around.
That's how Alabama is.
This was the South, too. And I got really good at telepathy, and I didn't know that's what it was.
Yeah. And then most telepaths don't know. They think everybody else experiences things that way. From what I can tell, they think everybody's that. They think it's observing things, from what I can tell. If they're not into metaphysics or trying to figure anything out like that, a telepath will just think they are very observant, and they kind of think everybody else is seeing the same.
Like, doesn't everybody else know this?
Everybody pick up this stuff.
It's right there.
Yeah, and exactly. And I've noticed a lot of telepaths who use that excuse, that I'm just very observant, and they think that to themselves, and everybody's seeing this stuff. They're very intelligent. So they're kind of tricking themselves. So they aren't different, and I think that might be like a trick. So they don't feel so isolated and different. Like you were saying, for your book, you're going to show you're not. It's not this trap. Like you said, you don't have to live in isolation when you're, getting impressions of other people's situations, what they're about, and their judgments of you, you listener, and me, and you will pick.
Go ahead.
I was just saying, you will pick up that with telepathy, like judgments on you, and it can feel pretty bad. If you're
a little more confusing because you think, it's a thought. It's here. It must be mine. The same thing for empaths.
Yes.
There's anxiety here. I feel it. It must be mine. Right. I just did a reel today that was talking about, I was on a flight last night, and I'm getting on the plane, and we're getting ready for takeoff, and I'm headed back home. I'm ready to get in my own bed, and all of a sudden I start feeling anxiety energy, and it was real prominent because, I've been doing this a while, and it was like, anxiety energy. I love takeoff. That's like a roller coaster to me. I love takeoff. I'm going home. I'm like, okay, well, that's weird. It's not mine. So then I think, well, is it precognition? No, I probably would have picked that up the night before I stepped on the plane. And then I go, well, is it mine or somebody else's? Oh, it's somebody else's. Okay. And then I just kind of tune around periphery, zap. Oh, right there. And about that time, I see a couple grab hands, and the lady is nervous about flying, and it telegraphed that anxiety information. And as a sensitive person, well, now I'm feeling, but I don't have to get swept away by it at all. I just go, that's her anxiety energy. I know how to clear it from my space, and I didn't think about it.
It is so awesome to be able to identify where your feelings or thoughts or impressions are coming from when you're not sure if they're yours and you're pretty sure they aren't. If you can, for me, like you're saying, if I can identify where some kind of emotion out of nowhere comes from, and I'm not just overthinking or getting, if it's something that just even sitting alone, a spirit can come along and make you feel away. And for me as a medium, I usually keep them all out, but sometimes someone else will sneak in somewhere and give me a weird thought. I go, wow. So it is really great to be able to identify where these things are coming from. So for you, you kind of like, how would you explain that? Like, would you look around and identify this person, these people and this woman?
No,
or did you
I would. No, I don't want to feel it. I would be in my sixth chakra in the center of the head. If I'm out in front, then I'm going to be feeling more of that anxiety, because that's where the anxiety energy is sitting. It's just outside of my space. But if I'm more behind the eyes and in the middle of the head and grounded and really in my space, then I tune in on a crown chakra level. So I'm in my six in the head, but I'm just kind of like, okay, tap into my knowingness, the seventh chakra. Where's this coming from? And I just let this, like you're playing a video game, I just let this yellow arrow go around the room, and it went ding, 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 ding,
Love
ding.
that. Yes. So perfect. You use a lot of colors in your work, it seems like. I love that. And I think a lot of us do. I'm not very visual, but I do when I think back about visualizations and stuff. Yeah, there's a ton of color. If I go through a meditation or a visualization of some sort, there is color. Like when you mentioned the yellow pedestal platform thing, I can see it. Like you said, it's like a dish, and I got this really good picture of. And
it's like this oval dish,
it's like a platter, like a serving platter.
Yes, exactly. That's what it's like. Yeah. Yeah, but there's different ways. So colors are more closer to the body. So like there's the physical body, and then kind of the next, if you're reading the next level up, which is where we teach, this style of clairvoyant training, you teach people look at colors first, but you might also see symbols, or like seriously, like the matrix, like the little. Some people
I know people who say they see that stuff. Yeah,
or interconnected lines. It's just like changing channels, and you can those are on different frequency bands. So there's like some kids that are here, they may get an autistic diagnosis, but they're up here in this geometry field and trying to figure out how to bring that information down into practical sense.
Yeah. I knew an autistic, or she had Asperger's, and she really liked roller coasters, and she would her father would take her to amusement parks, and the roller coasters had names and personalities and stories, and they had babies, they married each other, and she I loved talking to her about her friends, her roller coaster friends. That was her way. I don't know. For me, from my end at that time, I was probably about maybe 36 or 37. And I'm 48 now, and she was probably about 30. And I had known her as a little girl, so I was like spending some time with her as an adult, even though she's still kind of the mentality of maybe like a tween, when you really talk to her. But when about other things in roller coasters, for example, you hear that? Can you hear that? My cat's coughing up a hairball.
Oh,
yeah, are you okay? He just had a nightmare and was like, row, row, row. And then he came.
Cats are really psychic. Cats and dogs are really psychic. When I brought, I take care of my neighbor's dog, and they got a new one. When the old one passed away, I brought her over here, and she's looking in the room and going like this. And I'm like, who is that? Oh, it's the former dog that was deceased, coming to check out the new one and welcome and show. Now you want to go over here, and this is where she'll put the treats, and
that's awesome. Yes, that does happen. It's weird. And cats, I don't know. I don't have as much experience with dogs because I'm allergic. I do have an allergy to dogs. It's not really severe. If I live with I had roommates who had dogs. After about 2 weeks, the allergy would go away. But cats, I'm not just in tune with dogs like I am cats, I feel like anyway. And when, cats just sit there and listen.
Yeah. When I had two cats that were
like, what are they looking at? You look and you might see something, pick up something,
When the first cat I had two from a litter, and they grew up together. And when the first one passed, I would see the second one going,
Yep. Yep.
And there's no fly in the room.
Yeah.
that was Elvin, my buddy.
That is awesome. They do come around after they pass, listeners. And the first one that did for me was my cat, Morgana. And if you've heard me talk about Morgana, she's a spirit guide now, mind Julia. And she does readings with me. I mean, she's amazing. She knows it all. You know, she's funny. I mean, I'd never talked to her like that when she was a cat. But then when she passed away, she's an orange, long-haired fluff. And only 2% of orange cats that are long-haired usually are female. And she was filled with tumors, and that's how she ended up passing away, because when she was 7, I had to put her to sleep. But then that night she came, and then I was like, what is going on? I didn't know animals could, I just didn't know that and then she taught me how to use a traditional tarot deck. And then she started helping me do pet readings, and now she just helps everybody, you know? She kind of like worked. Really, yeah, she worked with me, you know, like got me really motivated. And at that time, I had kind of dropped out of the psychic work. This is 2018. She died on winter solstice in 2017. And then she worked with me all the way through. And then, like through the summer and near the end of the summer and into the fall, I just was called back into it. And if you look at the astrology, it lines up, you know, around like, I just needed to do this again. I need to get back and get a job as a psychic and not just do readings occasionally around town and for friends and stuff. I need to do it.
This is really, you know, and that's important right now too, because this is a time of great change. It's not in the future. It's right now. We're in the middle of it. And all healers are called on deck. Make sure you guys have training. Don't just go out and start.
Keep yourself protected and make sure you're not telling people anything that is like gonna scare them. Really, that's the best advice I have for anyone starting out. Don't scare people you're reading for. You know?
I would say my training would say validate the soul that they are.
Yes, and also empower it.
Yes,
empower their body in their human form, because the human form is sometimes just feels so beat down, and they don't have any more empowerment. Especially women that I know of. Men they do too, but they keep it personal. They don't want to talk about it usually. They want to talk about other things, and maybe that'll come up. But women, a lot of ones I've known who work in this field or start to or anything, they're afraid to go into it because it's just such a big step that for a woman to take to just start a career and do this, or as a dude can do it. And it's like, oh, okay, you're doing it. Then, from my point of view, I see these women stepping into that role of kind of, being an empowered man, masculine energy, and take the job, do the thing. And it's kind of intimidating for them. It was for me when I first stepped into it.
Well, I would say, too, for people listening that are more oriented towards healing, you don't have to be a professional healer. If you love art, that can be very healing. Oh, yeah. If you love making curtains, that can be very healing. It's like whatever you enjoy doing, that can be very healing and supportive for people as well. So don't feel like you need to abandon everything you know how to do. Just take it up a notch. But again, make sure you get some good training, because it's like, it's not about, okay, I'm going to do this healing by counterclockwise 3 times, and it does this. Okay, fine, do that or don't do that. But it's more important. I always tell my healers in my healer class, practical healing, bringing spiritual tools to life. I always tell them in there, the first thing I have them do is, okay, take a look at your readee and don't do anything.
Your readee?
The person you're healing.
Oh, readee. The sitter.
Okay. Take a look at where they are. They have a health question, and don't do anything first. And look at your urge to go in and start, fixing everything. There's a whole protocol that we go through to clear out our matches first, so we're not reading our own stuff. But really, the classes are all about self-care. So that whatever techniques you have, you're using or whatever, self-care, so you can stay tuned up. Because there's a lot of really talented people out there. It's like when I went through, I have a master's in music education, but there was like nothing about classroom management, the key to the whole thing, right?
Yeah, that's the hardest part.
There was not even a sniff of anything in there about that. The only advice I got student teaching was don't let them see a smile till Christmas. I'm like, I'm not going to do that. But like for healers, so the main thing would be able to manage your own space as a healer and doing whatever you enjoy doing in the world. We need healers everywhere. We need healers in finance. We need them in healthcare. We need them in education. We need them in politics.
There, and maybe they're going to start, some of them are starting to put that into their practical work situations. I know like people come on the podcast. Excuse me, I'm still getting over this virus thing I've had. They will say, I came from the corporate world where I did use my juju, I did use my psychic skills. And they're like, I didn't tell anyone. And then I really was called to do it and help people in another way. And they kind of started out using it practically in a work kind of situation, That's not how I was, but I think for me and you may be the same way. For me, working with energy really had a lot to do with learning how to write songs and learning how to play instruments and put emotion into it. And like writing lyrics and stuff like that and trying to express, something that I was trying to express, at the time for the song and the way the music felt. And that really helped me kind of structure my own method of like stepping in, like, kind of like writing a song. You write an intro, like beginning of a reading. Hi, how are you? How do you feel? And you kind of get the audience kind of feeling good about this song. Maybe they'll like it. Maybe it won't be scary. Maybe it won't be a bad song. And so that's how I kind of went to approaching doing readings for people, is to do like the energy of like a show or a song or something, and then kind of wind it down or leave it at a big bang, whatever they need.
Yeah.
And how it feels, but how do we know what they need, right? How do you know what they need? Do you just work with them and it comes to you, or do you just kind of right away? Or
I run my energy for about half an hour to an hour beforehand.
Yeah.
Kind of clear my space and everything. But a lot of times it'll show up in just like this glaring color that doesn't belong.
Yeah.
And you're like, they're in a fight with their spouse. I'm not going to start out with that.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. You got to build the song. Get them like to feel the rhythm. They're in the rhythm. You're in the rhythm. There is a rhythm. It's
also, don't you find like reading someone is like opening a novel, and there's all kinds of things that happen in that novel. Page 22 is different than 468. Which chapter are you interested in? But sometimes, somebody else they'll ring a bell over here and say, I want to look at this over here. And I'll go, okay, fine. But this is really lit up over here, dude. We'll eventually get to that.
Yeah, and
start over there.
Do you ever find yourself kind of like with that original query, if it keeps going and they want to go there, you sense the energy that they want to explore this thing. That's probably the reason they want the reading for real, but they don't know how to bring that up because they don't know what that is. Even if it is a tension in the relationship or something, they don't have to say that.
I would look at I would keep a gauge when I'm reading somebody, and there's just like a reading screen, and I keep some gauges up, and one of the gauges is 0 to 100. How much can that person receive of what I have to offer? Yeah. Okay, 10%. I better not give them 11% because that's going to be uncomfortable. It's like an overdose.
Yeah, it is uncomfortable.
Just keep an eye on that. If their ability to receive is like 60% rocking, let's go, let's get weird. Or 80%, yours is like off the charts, and it's like we can get as weird as we want.
Yeah, I love that, and to go back to that like musical performance, or trying to bring in an audience, bring in your client or your person you're reading for. You don't want to have someone come sit in who's likes country and play them Metallica, So you kind of have to feel what they like and what words they associate with, what's their language, really, their energetic language.
Yeah.
And like bringing it back to like, doing an energy check, that is really good for us as readers and all of us really, to have some people that we can go to and they can say, well, like what you just did. And I'm going to use this. I'm going to like work on this and try it with Misty and some other friends and stuff and see how they react to that. Because that's a really good idea. And my idea of doing an energy check before that, I never put it that way, was to talk to one of my friends who work in the field or a best friend, or they all are in the field, or they all do this stuff like that. That's the people that I love now. Not that he's kind of got an interest in this stuff right now. It seems like, even if they're, but they are interested. They're listening. To other people talk about it. Yeah. And I find that it helps me the most to just kind of say to someone, just get it off my chest, or have them say it for me and what I need to say. And I didn't know the words, in an energy check. For me, an energy check would be a reading with another reader. That usually free, because that feels better. I can't explain it. If we
just like clean out the pipes and get that blind spot that I'm looking over here, but they're going, oh, well, check out what's happening. You're looking over there because you're getting pushed out of your space from this thing. And so it's just a little tune-up.
It's
like
wonderful.
A sports person might go to a physical therapist or a chiropractor, or acupuncturist, get some cupping. You see that with the professional athletes. You see those big cupping marks.
I've seen that. Yeah. The cupping. We'll call it a psychic cupping. I don't know. That sounds a little uncomfortable. I don't think I'd like that.
I'm going to keep energy check.
I like energy check better.
Because it's checking my energy, where it's flowing, where it's not flowing, what's really mine, what's not mine. Clear it out. Move on with your day.
That is really cool. So at this point, I think I want to thank our sponsor, Everclear. Everclear is an advice app and website where you can get advice from psychics and empaths, so you can get the clarity you need to create the life you deserve. And Misty's going, you deserve it. Wherever she is. She had to take care of her grandson tonight, so she couldn't make it. Lastly, I would let them know where they can find you, because I do have your information, but you can go ahead if you have some new places that the listeners might be able to find you or find out about you. Is there any? I know you gave us information last time, but give it to us again. Maybe they missed it. Yes.
My website, juliaharrell.com. When the green window comes over, sign up, you get a free class. I'm largely on Facebook, Julia Harrell Clairvoyant, or Instagram, Julia Harrell Spiritual Guide. Keep an eye out. It's
kind of a psychic. Isn't that the one we did with you before? The psychic. Yeah. You help people who are in the field. Energy.
I work with a lot of healers, whether they know they're a healer or not.
Yeah.
So I do readings and healings. I have 2 online classes, one more for sensitives and empaths, called Powerful Resets for Sensitive People. And it includes coaching with me. And so you can start that, do it at your own time. If you're across the world or whatever, you can go ahead and get started. And then the other one, Clairvoyant Basics, which is getting going with learning to really open up your chakras abilities and start harnessing those. And then people can get into my healing class, which is a live Zoom.
You can open chakras, can't you, and activate them? I just got that information. I felt like you gave my throat chakra some energy when we started up, or opened it up or something. I don't know if you did it on purpose.
No.
Maybe it just kind of happened. You just kind of were like, ooh, she's got a cold, or, something's in there. I don't know. I feel like it's opened up and I'm talking more succinctly and better than I normally would. I'm really comfortable. Your energy is very comforting, Julia, and listeners and watchers. I'm sure you can, even if you're not working with your energy and you just popped in here and you're like, we're all psychic. You can hear that she is relaxing. If you listen to other podcasts I do, I'm a lot of times, and I feel calm, grounded, and happy. And I also have that grounded feeling like I'm up in the stars, but I'm also on the ground. And after you did that as an energy check, I feel better. I don't know. Awesome. I do. I just feel better. I feel like I felt like you were in there, not you, but something was in there, kind of readjusting and letting things,
when you take 30 people out of your space, and then you can just be you.
Yeah.
And then feel the difference.
I've been practicing in my head all through this since you said that, putting it over there, and it keeps going back, and we'll put it over there. But it is. And then when I put it over there, I feel really like a dead silence in my energy is the way I put it, not dead silence, but just a silence and a stillness that I don't usually have, a stillness inside me. But do you have any advice for the listeners as to how they might learn how to do an energy check, or who Yeah.
Go to a professional, to get started, find a person that resonates, have your awareness in the center of the head and just tune in sort of on a seventh chakra, top of your head and go, who's got the information that's a match for me? And just sort of know, oh, that's where I need to go. Oh, yeah. Not because there's a shiny button out there or somebody's got a flashy website. Use your intuition and tune in and go, oh, I really want to learn about more body physiology, but still being physical. Oh, that person's got my match or whatever.
Right. That's so true. Trust yourself when you feel drawn to get help from someone. Most likely they feel the same draw is what I would say. Wouldn't you say? I mean, when someone comes to me and like an email comes or something from the podcast listeners, or I always write them back. If you've written me and I haven't written you back, I didn't get your email or it got to your spam. I did write you back. So I always answer rights.
Write her again.
Not many people. Yeah, write me again. And I did have a wonderful letter from someone named Shawnee. And I did write you back if you're listening. I don't know if you got it, but she sent a really great like Word document letter, or and it was just really great to hear. I love hearing from you guys. So if you ever want to send letters, and we love that, Misty and I both do. And I think that's a good advice. Go to a professional. Go to people who have done it, and someone you feel that energy with, that you trust, just instinctively. Not the kind of like I want to trust you because you're so shiny. Someone you just feel like I feel comfortable with you. I'll
throw out that coupon again I did last time. If you can spell the word psychic, use it as a discount code on my website.
And I'll put it in the description, and I'll put all her info in the description too. Listeners.
We should put it psychic chick.
Side chicks. That was going to be our band, right? I told the listeners, after we had you on last time, I did talk to B Woo, who's been on the podcast a few times doing mediumship podcasts. And she was the one who's like, we'll name the band Side Chicks. And like, yeah. She's down. She plays guitar and she plays a lot of folk music. I can just do like whatever, I did this crazy impulsive thing. I did this impulsive thing ever since I was a little girl. My parents said, well, you like to hum and sing. Would you like to play an instrument? We'll get you an instrument. And I said, I want to play the harp. And they're like, no, it's a little expensive, Lisa. Do you want a guitar? I was like, no, I want a harp. But I ended up getting a piano from long story, but a friend of my dad's gave it to them and I learned how to play piano. I bought myself a harp and it's going to be here tomorrow.
Awesome. Congratulations. That's
wait. I guess I've always wanted, and I've never played one before. So, I mean, I have 45 days to take it back if I change my mind. So, but I'm really excited about it. And it's going to be like 36 inches, man. It's like,
oh, wow.
Harp. Yeah. I think it has, 40, I think it has 44 strings, or I'm not sure. I can't remember how many strings, 48. But I'm very excited about it.
Harp goes good with marimba. I have a concert grand marimba here, 6 foot.
Oh, we're doing it. And maybe we'll write a podcast song. That's the new intro.
Love it. Absolutely.
And then with that, Julia, I want to say thank you so much for being on again. And you're always welcome to come back anytime.
Thank you, Lisa. A delight. I appreciate being here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And listeners and watchers, we love you. And thank you so much for always watching and listening and touching base, and touch base more often. And go do some energy checks. That's your homework from Misty if she were here. Or get one. It's from a professional. Or your friend. Maybe your friend will try it. But don't be scared if she says, well, you've got a bunch of red all over you. She might be wrong. But she's trying and you're practicing.
Most people read their matches first until they learn how to clear them.
That makes sense.
They read what's in their space before they learn to clear all that and then really see what's in front of them.
And then they can get in that headspace with using the 6 and 7.
Yeah, I mean, I would kind of caution to just jumping into reading somebody, because it can be a friend of yours and you start reading yourself and they can get upset. Like,
true. And also you might feel what they're feeling if they're going through something rough, and you might not be able to get that out of your energy if you're not real comfortable with it, because you have like by watching you do it and feeling you doing it, I could realize how to keep myself distance while scanning you kind of, Yeah. And that was really cool. I like that.
Yeah. Being in our own space is a big part of the training.
Yeah, it was a very important one, I think. Probably the most important, because it's really hard to go for energy anytime we're working with energy or healing, for me anyway, to keep my mind off of their problems, my minds and heart, my minds. I have many minds, and my hearts. I feel like my clients sometimes when they're upset and stuff, and I can't help them. I can send them some love or something, but to get it like cleared from me, as it's not mine, I don't need to carry it. They don't want me to. They don't. And lastly, listeners, I want to say it one more time. I love you. And we will catch you. I think we have another podcast Monday. And we'll catch you then. And thank you so much for always watching and listening. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.